It's Wednesday afternoon. I'm in the bedroom and I'm sorting out clothes. I'm pulling everything out of the drawers, folding them and putting them back. No, they've got a bit messy, particularly Paul's drawers, maybe. He's got two, I've got two. Yeah, we've got two each. One of mine contains all of my scarves. But I'm folding up our thermals and putting them back because they can go on the bottom, because I think thermal weather has finally finished. The sun has been out for quite a while and it's getting very, very dry. So yeah, I think if it carries on like this, there's going to be a drought. But I believe next week they're forecasting wind and rain, so who knows? Who knows? I'm roughly folding these, so I don't want any comments from the folding police. I'm also going to encourage Paul to throw away a few of his t-shirts that have become a little bit scruffy looking, because we don't need them. He's got lots of new ones. I just want to get these sorted first. So the bottom drawer, it's got things like leisure pants and stuff, Paul shorts, thermals. He's got some lovely ones. He hardly ever wears these. I don't know why. I might have to nick them. They're elasticated. Joy. There's lots of noise going on outside. Oh, what's that? Oh, yet another house is having a skip delivered. Yeah. So there's a skip down there, work going on there, work going on there, work going on there, work going on there. Yeah. Surrounded. We're literally surrounded by work. So I've got all the windows closed on a day that I would normally, midweek day, quiet, sunny, breezy. I'd have all the windows open just for a good blow through, but I've got to do that first thing in the morning. Otherwise, dust, pollution. I mean, look, people that are having work done in their houses find it stressful enough. I get it, But it's just the amount of work, and also the sense of people needing more space all the time. Oh, I'm just watching that skip. I don't know whether they're collecting or dropping off, actually. Yeah, it's people wanting more and more space, with very little garden. People don't seem to care about outside space anymore. I mean, even next door that way, they've now got plastic grass, and they've got a summer house at the end of the garden, which they just use as a junk room. I think they are clearing it out, but if you're going to have a summer house, use it, I don't know. People are people, they just do what they want, don't they? That's the thing about owning a property. You do what you want or what you can afford, but I very much doubt most of these people can actually afford the work, because building work is hugely expensive now, mainly because of materials. Material cost is sky high. So I just don't understand how people can afford it. People must just be getting into more and more and more debt, I would imagine. We don't like to live like that. I mean, we're already in debt with our mortgage. So don't really want to be in debt any more than that. But people do, don't they? People do. Right, okay. So that's all the leggings and the thermals. Paul's shorts. Oh, look at these. These are a little pair of leggings. When I bought them, look at the size of those. They've got rather a saucy crotch as well. And I bought those for myself. I needed some sort of leggings, and they came, and look at the size of them. But actually they really stretch. So, and they were very comfortable, but I think they're a bit small, and they're awfully revealing as well. So I think they may have to go. Oh, and they've got a hole in the crotch. They may have to go. I don't think I'm ever going to wear those again. I don't even know what I was thinking. I think that's fairly old, that t-shirt. Put that to one side. Right. Paul's t-shirt drawer. Let's hoik everything out of this. I'm going to go through them and see what we're going to keep. I'm going to get on with this. Lead me to it. Oh no, they're collecting a skip. That's very full. You know, when we had our skip, we were really careful to keep it on the line. This is like overflowing. So I've just been digging to the bottom of my pile of t-shirts and found a few vintage ones that I'm sort of holding on to for sentimental reasons. So let me show you. This one's not quite vintage. It's a Next. I love it. I love anything with a bit of sparkle on it. It's covered in little sparkly bits. I've only worn it a couple of times. And then I've got this one. Now this really is vintage now. Tina Turner, Foreign Affair tour. I bought that, I think it was at Woburn Abbey. It was an outdoor concert in the summer. Must have been 1990, 91, something like that, which I'm keeping hold of. Then I've got this one here, which is a Versace. With gold rubberized cuffs and shoulders and neck. It's a little bit stained, though. It's got a few sort of white stains. Maybe I'll dye it black, because I think that would still fit me. It's a really nice piece. Nice Versace. Then I've also got this one. This is really old. This is from 1989. This is a piece of merchandise, Kate Bush merchandise, Essential World, Kate Bush. It's very grey now. It was very black, but it's got the classic 80s sort of almost slightly batwing. They're not really batwing, but they're sort of off the shoulder, big loose sleeves, and it's a huge size. I must have looked like a skinny wretch in it. There's a little design there. So I'm keeping that for sentimental reasons. Oh, and I have to show you this one as well. This is my Kate Bush Before the Dawn t-shirt from 2014. and the rear. Yeah, 2014, the KT Fellowship presents Before the Dawn, and we went on the 13th of September, my birthday. We were very, very lucky to get tickets. I took part in a pre-sale event as I was on a mailing list, and we got tickets, and we were literally right in the centre, about 5 rows back, so we had the most amazing experience. Went with our friends, so I got 4 tickets. Yeah, so I'm keeping hold of this one. Again, sentimental reasons. So there we are. So that's the bottom drawer with the thermals and leggings and Paul's shorts, which I've had to lay out on top because there's no room for them. If you're wondering what those little white things are, they're silica gel packets. They keep things nice and dry. There's Paul's t-shirts all sorted. You've seen my scarves. There are my t-shirts, which are sort of sorted. But yeah. And that's the pile of things that are going to go. Not too many of them, but hey, it's done. So I'm going to fold those up and they can go into the recycler. That took me longer than I anticipated, but it's a job done. It's very warm, feeling very, very warm. So also I've got white t-shirts which I've put into the wash. So they've got to be dried and fitted in there at some point. We threw away so many clothes at one point. We really did. I think we got rid of 8 bin bags of clothes at one point. 8 bin bags. I mean, you know, we do wear what we've got. So I'm just being nosy. I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, 8 bin bags we got rid of. Not so long ago, well, maybe 2 years ago, I guess. Yeah, clothes, huh? I don't know, we just don't buy clothes anymore. Paul bought t-shirts recently. What was the last thing I bought? I can't think. Yeah, it's feeling really warm in here, so I'm going to be shutting the blinds up to keep the sun off because the sun's just making it into this room now. It's about 4 o'clock, so the sun, starts to creep into the bedroom. I mean, it's a lovely room. It's so light in here, and it gets lots of sunlight in the afternoon. And this is, I've said before, this is the actual width of the house, this room. So yeah, there's the chimney stack there, the chimney breast. And that's the other external wall, which is why in the winter, external wall, external wall, external wall, which is why it gets so bloody cold. And we've got 3 windows, so, you know. There's the ice cream van. Stop. It'll just drive past, it always does. I tried to wave to him, but he didn't stop. What are you supposed to do if you're desperate for an ice cream? Sprint? I don't think so. So yeah, job done. I'm going to close up the blinds and go and get a drink and fold these bits up. So see you later. Good afternoon. It is, what day is it? Thursday afternoon. And as you can see, I've cut my hair. Finally, I just had to have, this is going to sound really indulgent, but I just had to have a me day today, which involved having a haircut, which takes time, and a lovely bath as well. So have to have a bath after cutting my hair, because obviously I'm covered in little tiny bits of hair, which is what the clippers tends to do, you know. So I'm really pleased with it. It is a number, what is it? I think it's a number 12 and a number 10. Number 12 all over, and then a number 10 at the sides and just at the back here. Yeah, done by my own fair hand. So today has also been a day that concentration would have been very difficult, let me put it that way, because they've had the big guns out next door, digging, I presume doing foundations, a loud sort of hammering noise as well. So I assume they're constructing foundations. Yeah, there we are. It is what it is, but it's deeply, deeply annoying. My other neighbour has been over to have a chat with me as well. She brought some plants over for Paul, and we had a little chat on the doorstep. It's driving her insane. She's next door to them, so it's the same as us. I mean, we're virtually next door to them as well. But she's actually attached to them, so she's going through it too. Yeah, we just find it ridiculous how people who've already had extensions on their homes are having more. Anyway, I'm just whinging for the sake of whinging now, which is my prerogative. Paul is out today, down at For Earth's Sake. So it is my job to get some dinner ready. I'm just having a think about what I might make. We've got some leftover vegetable chili, and I'm sort of toying with the idea of maybe making it into like a vegetable bake with layers of potato. So I'm just mulling over that idea at the moment. Whether it comes to fruition is another matter. No, I'm sure it will, because we've got to eat. We've got to eat. Yeah. So yeah, nothing else to report. I see the feral children are on their way home from school. Kids are getting more and more feral, I've noticed. I'm a grumpy old man, aren't I? Love it. Bring it on. Yeah. Oh dear. God help us. See you later. So I'm here in the kitchen. Don't know whether you can see me properly. It's a bit of a throw it together day again. So what I've got is I've got some vegetable chili here, but I didn't want to do it with rice or couscous or pasta. What I fancy on this actually quite grey afternoon. Yeah, it's like the autumn has returned and summer has gone. Bye. Yeah, that's what it feels like. I fancy something baked and warm and unctuous. So using this and a couple of baking potatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake them in the microwave. So a potato like that, I would normally say around 5 or 6 minutes, depending on the wattage of your microwave. They're both similar size. I'm going to prick them all over with a knife, and then I'm going to do them slightly under. So I would say around 4 minutes per potato, so 8 or 9 minutes in total. That's what I'm planning on doing. Then what I'm going to do is slice them and make a chili and potato layer bake. I'm going to top it with my no cheese sauce. So I'm going to pop these into the microwave, like I say, for about 8 minutes. So they'll be partially baked. also noticed that I had left the skins on. I just gave them a good wash. Perfect, that's great. And while they're cooling, I will make my no cheese sauce. You've seen me make this so many times. Well, maybe 2 or 3 times. Olive oil, I don't know, tablespoon or so. Pop the heat on. Tablespoon of gram flour. This is a roux sauce for those of you who might be new. We're just going to cook that flour in the oil till it starts to bubble. I'm using oat milk as the liquid. Give it a good whisk. Look, that's thickened up really quickly, so we need to add more liquid. And this is virtually the same recipe as my Welsh rarebit, which is, you know, essentially a thick cheese sauce spread on toast and grilled. 3 tablespoons, in fact I'm going to turn the heat off now. 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. They dissolve quite easily. You want them to dissolve into the sauce. I'm going to add a really good teaspoon of English mustard. A level teaspoon of bouillon powder, vegetable stock powder, and that's it. There we are. So I've got my potatoes, I've got my chilli, and I've got my topping sauce, and my denbigh, my lovely Baroque. It's very old, that one now. And I'm going to build it. So I'm going to start off with a layer of the chilli first of all on the bottom. And then I'm going to put a layer of potatoes on top of that. And if there's any of this left, which there will be, it'll go into a soup for tomorrow's lunch. Right, and put the rest of the potato on the top. Hope you can see. Potato and chilli layer bake with a cheese topping. A cheese with a Z, because it's not real cheese and it's a vegan dish. Lovely. The lighting in here is terrible. So I'm really pleased I've done that. Yeah, a thrown together dinner. And Paul will appreciate that when he gets in. So Paul is home. Dinner is ready. There we are. Morning. I'm in the kitchen. Got the shark out and I've just been using my old radiator brush or duster to go underneath the cupboards to get the piles and piles of dust bunnies that are under there. Oh, and you heard that crunch. And dried vegetables, which I'll be saving for lunch, not really. So I've just done that. I'm just about to clean the kitchen floor because it's due, but I've literally filled the shark with dust bunnies. In fact, I just need to get these few off here. I know I've just put this on the worktop, but I'm going to be wiping that down. So yeah, it is quite a cold morning. The sun is coming through now, but I was really cold earlier. The temperature had really dropped, so the gorgeous warmth that we were feeling only a few days ago has kind of gone, and we're back to sort of, I don't know, 19, 20, those kind of temperatures, and quite low at night, which is disappointing, but we're still in May. I've said that before. So yeah, I don't tend to use too much water, and I just use, believe it or not, a little bit of washing up liquid. This floor is a terracotta floor. They're natural terracotta tiles, and the good thing about them is they're not cold to the touch like ceramic. And this style is very rustic, so there's lots of pits and scratches and marks. There's even some animal tracks on one of them where clearly a little animal has gone across them when they were drying. We said to the person that put them in, look, please don't make it too neat. I want it to look as though it's been here for hundreds of years. And they are almost warm to the touch. So that's good in the winter. And they are, I think they're Mexican, not sure. I occasionally do brush the grout with a stiff brush, but that's not a job for today. I just want to give them a good mop, and I'll show you the water because it's going to be quite grey, I would have thought. Let's get on with it. And I like this mop because this is extendable, which is good for my height. Oh, I've forgotten something. My shoe covers. I bought shoe covers when we had the house on the market, and they're really useful for mopping. It means your slippers or your house shoes or your socks don't get sopping wet. When these were put down, they were given a sealant. These tiles, in fact, I sealed them before they were laid individually. I did them. And yeah, they're actually very forgiving. They clean well, and they don't really show the dirt as such. I mean, the grout gets a little bit dusty over time. And you know, this kitchen is it's well used. It's a well used place. You know, we're always cooking, always dropping a few bits and pieces, but they never really look dirty. But they do hold the dirt. Very often, while I've got the mop and bucket out, I'll do the hallway floor as well. That could do with a revarnish actually, but clearly that's not going to happen today. So time to see how grey the water is, how dirty the floor was. Oh, not bad. Don't even know whether you can see that. It's mildly grey, certainly not black. And a quick whiz round. Just to make sure there's no soap really. Not that I used that much in the first place. That's almost dry in that sun. So just a bit more information about these doormats. So this one here with the dots, I've got at the back door. This one's an IKEA. Again, it's a rubber-backed washable mat. This one I bought when I painted the hallway a few years ago. So I wanted something really bright. Again, it's washable, goes in the machine, rubber-backed. And the good thing about all of them, this one I got, I think I bought a rug and I got it free. It's almost like a little sample, Persian carpet sample. This one's not rubber-backed, but the good thing about all of them, as I was about to say, is they all dry very, very quickly. So I can have them back installed within a matter of a couple of hours. So they're really good. But they could do with a clean because they've gone through winter, and they always come up beautifully. I'm just going to put them on a quick wash, on a 30-degree quick wash, and that'll be fine with a good spin. So let's get them shoved into Becky. Put some detergent in. You'll probably be surprised to learn that I don't use an eco washing liquid because I've tried several. I've tried Ecova, I've tried Minimal, and I've tried another one, can't remember what it's called, and I found them all not to actually wash things that well. So this is Persil Ultimate. It's not a paid promotion. It's okay. Paul and I both our skins don't really like biological. So this is a non-bio for sensitive skin, and I find it's okay. It's not too strong, the scent, and it appears to get things clean. It doesn't really work on tough stains, I have to be honest. Things like tea, it doesn't get tea out very well. I have to soak things first, but yeah, so I'm using this. And I think the other thing to mention is I always use slightly more than the recommended dose, only slightly because we're hard water. So I think the recommended dose is 40 ml, so I actually use 50. And I'm using the full dose because, you know, there's quite a lot of dirt on these, so I really need them to be free of dirt. So let's chuck that in on top of the wash. And let's get it working. So what am I going to use? I'm going to use an eco setting. I'm going to bring the temperature down to, oh, I can't on that. Is it a synthetic? What am I going to use? Yeah, I'll use a synthetic and I'll put it on 30 degrees. Spin 1200. Let's see if we can speed that up. Yes, we can. That's a quick wash mode with less water. That's fine. That's what I tend to do. There we are. Morning. It is Saturday morning. It's about 6:30. I was up very early this morning at 4. So my niece came over yesterday. She travelled down from up north because she's got an event at Goodwood. So she's travelling down to Chichester, and the event is the Good Woof Festival, whatever you call it, which is all about dogs. And she is a pet portrait artist, Sophie Stock Art, and she's down there for 2 days, but she's staying down there tonight and travelling back, I think on Monday morning, I think, but she stayed with us last night, so that's why I couldn't do the live show. But she needed to get a train this morning at 6:30 from Victoria, so we had to get up really early. So I drove her to our local station where she caught the 5:30 train, and she's just texted me to say she's on the 6:30 at Victoria to Chichester. So yeah, and it's very cool this morning. Cold air is blowing around in the breeze, and it's very dull. So yeah, so today is going to be doing Sunday chat. Once we're awake, Paul's just gone down the road because he needs to feed and medicate our friend's cat who's diabetic. So he's doing that now. No doubt I'll have more tea and some breakfast. And then I need to get on with doing some editing, and yeah, that's it. But yes, an early start. So I am going to pour more tea and I'll see you later. Good afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon and I've had a fairly quiet day, which is nice. Apart from doing some washing, changing the bedding. Yeah, I did 2 loads of washing. Or was it 3? No, 3. I've done 3 loads of washing, changed the bedding. Yeah, that's it. That's been my jobs for today, and had a rest this afternoon, which was really nice. So not an awful lot to report, but I've just put the water on in the back garden because everywhere's getting so dry. My new lawn has not happened because it's been far too dry for the seed to germinate, and at the same time I don't want to spend lots of time watering the garden because that costs money to do that. You know, gone are the days where we can leave the water sprinkler on for hours. You know, that just can't happen now. Because it's going to be too costly to do that. So I do it maybe, I don't know, a couple of times a week. I give everything a water with the sprinkler. We've got one of those, I call it a tick-tick, goes round. I find it covers a good portion of the garden, but I only leave it on for 10-15 minutes at the most. And I've noticed that I really need to get out there tomorrow and do some gardening. Tomorrow definitely needs to be a gardening day. Oh, yeah. There's quite a few weeds. There's a few things that have gone over now. So the, what are they called? The forget-me-nots have finished and are going to seed, which is good because I can spread the seed around to other areas of the garden for next year. The alkanet is going over, so that needs to really be pulled out. It will leave a few bare patches, but that's okay. That's fine. My ceanothus is flowering. That's Californian lilac. So yeah, the roses are about to burst into bloom. The white roses, the little miniature red rose, the orange rose is in bloom. So there's quite a few things to look at. So I think I'll take you out there with me tomorrow to do that. So it's going to be a gardening day. Definitely. So anything else to report? Paul's just popped down to medicate our friend's cat and feed him. He's been a little bit poorly. She has Airbnb people going in and out, regulars, and one of them reported that he'd been a bit sick. But cats do that, Cats are sick regularly, frankly. We lived with cats for nearly 20 years, and there was always a puke at some point during the week, Yeah, that's what cats do. They eat things that they shouldn't, and they puke. Or it's a hairball. So yeah, but I think he's okay. Paul said he's quite perky, so fingers crossed, because he's getting on, This is one of the reasons why we don't have animals anymore. The trauma, frankly, just I can't be doing with the trauma of losing them. It's too much. I think when you have an animal and you commit to that animal and you kind of give up aspects of your life, we didn't really go anywhere for the best part of 20 years. We did, but it was very, very occasional. We didn't have regular holidays. We turned down lots of opportunities because we couldn't get reliable cat sitters. And then when we did have people cat sit, things would go wrong. And, you couldn't settle. You couldn't go away and settle because you were worried most of the time. So it became easier not to go away, or for one of us to go away and the other one to stay at home. And even then it was difficult. One felt guilty, so it's just easier not to have them. It really is. Whether or not that will change when we're retired, I don't know. We'll see. One day, maybe. We've got plenty of cats that visit the back garden, but all of them are so skittish. They run off. They never come for a cuddle or attention. And we are cat people. I keep telling them, come, we're nice. But no. But they use our garden as a big bloody litter tray. Yeah. In fact, Paul met a neighbour. And we now know who owns two of the cats. And I said to him, you should have said, well, your cats use our garden as their toilet. Anyhow, weather-wise, it's been very sunny today, although I've not really seen any of it because I've been doing stuff indoors. I'm hoping that it's not going to be too noisy tomorrow with the building work. so I can just get on. Maybe I'll wear headphones. Maybe I'll take my phone out there, put music on and block it all out. Yeah, maybe I will. But I do need to do some gardening. That is a definite yes. Okie dokie, that's it for today. We're going to be eating a light dinner. I think we're having wraps with salad and tofu. So I'm looking forward to that because I love tofu. So yeah, bye for now. Morning. It's Monday morning. It's dull. The sun, I think, is supposed to be coming out at some point, but it's not looking like it at the moment. So Monday morning, and I just wanted to mention something about the recycling. This is one of the things that is wrong with this country and the way things are done and the attitudes of workers towards jobs that should be held in, I don't know what the words are, I'm trying to think. It should be an important task, recycling. It should be done properly. There should be a high regard for people that do that kind of work. But I don't think there is. And I don't think the pay is great. So I don't think there is a genuine commitment from the people that operate the recycling trucks and that collect the bins. I don't think there is a pride from those people because I don't think they're probably treated very well. I kind of know this from working for the council and knowing a few of the cleaning crew over the years and knowing some of the issues that they've had with management. So I think I'm talking from an informed perspective. But this morning, I put out the t-shirts that I cleared out, the ones that had gone around the neck. Building has started next door for this morning. The noise has started. So I put those into a bag because what you do with textiles and batteries, because I had some batteries as well, is you bag them up and you put them on top of the bin, the wheelie bin, the blue bin that we have. And then the operatives are supposed to keep them separate because batteries going into the main truck can become damaged and can cause fire. Plane going over as well. Morning of noise. Anyhow, I had a feeling about the collection, so I thought I'm just going to sit here, zoom in my camera on my phone and just watch to see what happens, whether they do collect them. And I watched the operative grab the bags and put them into the recycler. They just grabbed the bags, put them into the recycling bin, my bin, and then that went into the truck. So they've not been separated. And I want to complain about this, but there's no way of complaining. There are only specific things you can feed back to the council with. So I just find this whole thing really, really annoying. You know, how you see in the news stories like my recycling bin, my recycling truck caught on fire. I saw one of those the other day. Don't put batteries in with the recycling. Keep them separate. Da 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 da. Really? This is what is wrong. So what is wrong is, as I said before, the operatives that do this very challenging, hard work of picking up our trash and our recycling, I don't think are invested in. I know they're not paid that well. I wasn't paid that well. I was on a very low grade job as well. So I know what it's like, but I'm not the kind of person that says, oh, I'm not paid very well, therefore I'm going to do a crap job. I do the job that I'm expected to do, or I did. So I do expect people to take a bit of pride in their work. But if they're not maybe dealt with very well, or they're feeling as though they're overworked and underpaid, there is probably over time going to be this attitude of I don't care. I don't care where the batteries go. I'm chucking them in. Whatever. That shouldn't be allowed to happen in this day and age. So we need to, I think, as a society, pay more attention to rewarding people that are considered to be in the lower paid jobs, the lower grade jobs, you know? I mean, gone are the days where we're allowed to tip the bin men, the milkman, the bread man. They used to get tipped at Christmas, you know? They would go round and knock, and you would tip and say thank you very much, you know? They're not allowed to do that now. I know a friend of mine many, many years ago, I'm not in touch with them now, but he worked one of the bin rounds in, I think, Camden Borough, and they used to get thousands in tips at Christmas, and used to pick up a lot of good stuff that people were throwing away. And he'd bring all sorts of stuff home, stereos, doors, windows, all sorts of stuff that people were chucking out. In the old days, where basically you put everything outside and they would just take it. So, and I think people were valued. I don't think people are valued now in those roles. I have experienced it, you know. I mean, people would say to me in the job that I had as a receptionist, oh, I don't want to talk to you, you're just a receptionist. People would say things like that. And I wouldn't respond, because it's not good customer service to start arguing with people on the phone. Once you start that, it's a slippery slope. So I would just ignore it and let it, you know, bounce off. But yeah, people don't value people in those roles. So yeah, I've put a couple of washes on this morning. I'm trying to really get down to the bottom of my wash basket. Things like I had a couple of what they call bath mats. They needed a wash, so they've got in together. I'm doing my cleaning cloths at the moment, so yeah, just catching up. And I'm about to go out and do some gardening, because that needs to be done. So I'll see you in a bit. It's Monday afternoon. I spent most of the day in the garden, as you saw. Sorry that I wasn't able to do any sort of soundtrack, but unfortunately with the amount of noise that's going on around me, it's impossible to do that. But I'm really pleased with what I've achieved today. Done a little tidy up, put the oleander into the ground, which was a good achievement because it took forever to get it out of the pot. So yeah, I'm really pleased. It's all good. So yeah, I think that's it for today. See you tomorrow. It's Tuesday evening. It's been a bits and pieces day today. I've just finished washing the car because it desperately needed a clean. When I say desperately, mainly because dust has been drifting from the skip, which is just there, through our garden, all over our car, and all over our garden as well. Yeah, from the building work next door, which is rather annoying, but I've noticed several other cars thick with dust. I saw a cloud of dust drift by yesterday, and I had to wait till now to wash the car because otherwise it would have got covered in dust. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening. I've made a no cheese cauliflower cheese for dinner, which we're going to be having in about, I don't know, half an hour or so, with some vegetables. And what else have I done today? I did my eyebrows, as you can see. Nice and dark and a little bit of shaping. So I like to keep them in check. You know, men of a certain age start to get very long eyebrows, just springing out, as well as ear beards as well, and nose beards. Disgusting. I like to keep all those hairs in check. Yeah, I'm a dab hand with a pair of tweezers. I am. So what else? Paul brought some plants home from the plot because I've got a few gaps, which I said about the other day. So I've popped those in. I'll probably show those to you next week because I'm not going out again now. What else? What else did I do today? Clean the car. I think that's about it. I'm sure I did something else. Can't think what. So there won't be a vlog tomorrow because we're out and about, but you'll see that in next week's vlog. Yeah, that's it for today. That's it. I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks very much for watching. And I'll see you on Sunday for Sunday Chat. Oh, yeah, all right, Paul. God. No, I'll probably see you on Friday for the live. I'm hoping to be able to do that, all being well. So thanks very much, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.